I was flipping through one of my old elementary school projects the other day. It was a little book project, and there was a little about the author section. And in that section, there was a question that I had to answer, which was, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now, 8-year-old me, I know exactly what I was thinking, and it was reflected right there on the page. It said, I want to be a professional soccer player. And like most kids that grew up playing sports, that was their dream. Their dream was to play sports professionally and make a living doing what they love. Well, time goes on. I actually fall out of love with soccer after 14 years of playing it, start running track, fall in love with track, realize that I'm probably not going to be good enough to get a D1 scholarship. I wanted to be a pre-med major, therefore I wasn't going to have enough time to walk on D1. I realized that track didn't pay well, and now I'm here. A broke 20-year-old making YouTube videos and TikToks for whoever the hell is going to watch them and trying to navigate his way through life after switching from the ultra-safe career path of medicine to now the ultra-risky career path of the sports industry. I know what you're thinking. Your parents must be so proud of you. And if you're like me, you've probably been told,
do not go into the sports industry. It's ultra competitive. There's no jobs there. You're not going to make any money. You're going to fail. Don't do it.
Well, I'm here to tell you that is the biggest load of I have ever heard in my life. In just 6 months of being a sports marketing major, 6 months, that is it. I already see a clear path as to how I can be successful in the sports industry and how I can enter the industry in the first place. And I am here to share those steps with you guys so that you guys know it is attainable to achieve that childhood dream of working in sports and having a career that you love. So with that being said, I'm Jake Maltese, and this is Totally Unqualified. Before we get into the video, I'm just going to ask you guys to do me a tiny favor, and that would just be to smash that like button down below. It is going to help me out so much with the YouTube algorithm and pushing this video out to even more people that want to learn how to get into the sports industry just like you. Okay, it's free, it's easy, it's quick, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're interested in sports betting and fantasy sports, then you would be interested in the app Thrive Fantasy that has been giving out more than $2.5 million since their start in 2018. It combines the two. It is absolutely awesome, but more on that later. With that being said, let's get into the video. When I first talked to my mom about wanting to switch my major from biology and being on the pre-med track to wanting to pursue a career in the sports industry, she really wasn't all that thrilled. It was not a fun conversation to have because her, and I'm sure a lot of parents, don't see the sports industry as a safe industry to be in and for their child to make money and have a good life. So I did understand why she wasn't all that excited to hear that. But it was my discovering that everything that my parents had told me when I was a kid, that the sports industry is difficult to get into, that there's really no jobs there, it was a lie. I had discovered that really they just hadn't seen the opportunities because they weren't going out and looking for them. So I wanted to share with you guys the steps that I took to discovering that there is a path to success and making it in the sports industry that is attainable. And the steps that I'm still currently taking as a sports marketing major in college, looking to do what I always wanted to do and have a career in an industry that I love. So, step number one, this is going to sound like common sense, but I promise you some people don't even get this far, okay? Go and Google jobs in the sports industry. After you're done watching this video, just go and Google jobs in the sports industry. What that's going to do is it's going to introduce you to jobs you didn't even know were a thing. You would have never thought that some people were doing these things for a living behind the scenes of your favorite sports teams. And once you start looking through these jobs, this is going to provide the framework for your sports career by narrowing down the jobs that you're interested in. And once we have that narrowed down, now we can start laying the stepping stones to how you're going to get to that job. Now, step number 1B, yeah. If you decide that you want to go into the sports media sector of the sports industry, start now. Start now. Get TikTok, get YouTube, start doing something, just something in terms of sports media. Put your face in front of a camera and start talking about sports. I promise you it is going to pay off in the long run. Now, it is only going to pay off in the long run if you do this consistently. Start building a following. I started doing this through TikTok. TikTok is a great platform to do this because any person can blow up at any moment, especially if you post 3 to 7 videos a day and you stay consistent with that. every freaking day. Do not take a day off. I don't care. Keep doing it for a year, 9 months. At 9 months, you're probably going to start seeing results. Keep doing that for a year, 2 years, and then you're going to start seeing some results, okay? And I promise you, it is going to pay off. For step number 2, you're going to want to go to a college that has a nationally recognized athletic program. These are the colleges in the Big Ten, in the SEC, in the ACC. Maybe they're in the Big East and they're a big college basketball school. You know the schools that I'm talking about. And if you're thinking to yourself, Jake, what if I don't get into one of those schools? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, okay? Like, I'm worried about getting into one of them. Guys, these schools, the big college football schools, the big college basketball schools, they're not known for being the smartest schools in the world, okay? They're not known for being the hardest schools to get into, okay? The Alabamas, the West Virginias, these schools are big athletic programs, nationally known names that are not exactly the hardest schools to get into, okay? So you really don't have to worry about that. These schools are going to provide you the best opportunity for getting your foot in the door of the sports industry. And that brings us to step 3. So sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take this time to talk to you guys about Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports app that takes sports betting and combines it with fantasy sports. So every single day, you can build a fantasy lineup of prop bets in your favorite sports to watch, from NFL to MLB to NBA to even esports. They have a game going on every single day where you can build a fantasy lineup to win a guaranteed $75,000 every single week in prizes. They have given out more than $2 million in prizes since their inception in 2018. This is an absolutely awesome app. I've used it myself. I would never promote anything to you guys that I did not think was legit, and this app is just freaking awesome. Now, obviously, it is a gambling app, so be sure that you are gambling responsibly and that you are of the legal age to gamble. It does follow state regulations, so if you're in a state that does not allow sports gambling, then I apologize, you are not going to be able to play this app. And if you use my code Maltese, they will match your deposit up to $50 when you deposit more than $20 on the platform. Again, they will match your deposit up to $50 when you deposit more than $20 on the platform. This is free money to just go out and play with and gamble with and have some fun. But again, gamble responsibly. Now that that's done, let's get back to the video. Now, step number 3, and this is a big one, so listen up. You are going to want to apply to your college's athletic department internship as early as you possibly can. Pretty much every big college sports school in the nation is going to have internships within their athletic departments for students at their college. For example, I'm currently a Penn State Athletics marketing intern, which means I intern within the marketing department of Penn State Athletics and all Penn State sports. So I learn about video production, marketing within specific teams for Penn State. I am gaining so much knowledge being a part of this internship that I can't even explain to you guys how valuable it is. This is really going to be your first major step in getting to that career that you've always dreamed of in the sports industry. Now, for those of you that want to go into the sports media sector of the industry and took my advice, got in front of a camera, started talking about sports, built up a significant following by now, if you did it consistently, this is really where it's going to start paying off. The people that are going to be interviewing you for these internships, put that on your resume and they are going to be so impressed with it. This especially played a big role for me getting this internship at Penn State. I did not bring up at all my TikTok in the interview, okay? I didn't bring it up one single time. It wasn't my resume, but I personally did not bring it up. The guy that was interviewing me brought it up and said, you need to mention that next time because that is very, very impressive. So just a heads up, if you do this, you do it consistently, you start building following, it's going to pay off for you in the future. Just another reason why you should do this. Step number 4, you're going to want to create a LinkedIn account as soon as you get into college. Create a LinkedIn account, get a very professional business picture as your profile picture, upload your resume, make sure your resume is good. I'm going to probably make a video on how to maximize your chances of getting these sports internships, okay? So in the future, look out for that. But make sure your resume is up there on that LinkedIn. Make sure you have your previous jobs up there. Okay, really make your LinkedIn as professional as possible. And the things that you can use your LinkedIn account for, especially when applying for these internships, throughout the interview process, they're going to be telling you the names of the people that are going to be interviewing you. Look those people up on LinkedIn. Write down some significant information about them that you could potentially ask them questions about. This is going to impress them and it's going to look really good on your part that you were prepared and that you knew a little bit about them because they're expecting you to. Now, LinkedIn is meant for networking, so use that feature and use LinkedIn for what it's meant to be and network your ass off. So look up every professional sports team in America. I don't care, it could be overseas too. Look up every professional sports team in the NBA and the MLB and the NFL and the NHL, whatever you want to go into. Look up the people in the positions of those teams that you potentially want to get into, okay? And try to connect with all of those people. All of them. All of them. Because I guarantee you, you're going to get some people that accept your connection, and that's when you can message them, ask them questions, introduce yourself very formally, very politely, ask questions politely, don't be all pushy. They're most likely going to respond to your questions. They're most likely going to be very polite and very friendly and try to give you as much knowledge as they possibly can because they were in your shoes at one point too. And this is the most important part of that. Make sure you keep in contact with those people, okay? And I don't mean like message them every day on LinkedIn, all right? Every once in a while when their team does something significant, that maybe their team wins a game, maybe you're networking with somebody who's on the Seattle Seahawks, who's the director of marketing for the Seattle Seahawks, okay? You connect with them, okay? They accept your connection. You're talking with them. You're asking them questions. Maybe the Seahawks go to the playoffs. Hey, just wanted to say congrats for the Seahawks getting into the playoffs. Hope you're doing well. Just stuff like that, okay? Anytime their team does something significantly positive, make sure to message them, congratulate them. Make sure they keep remembering your name because when you get out of college and you're applying for jobs, that could be a big plus if you have a connection with somebody at that team that you want to apply to. Finally, step number 5 is to make an account with teamworkonline.com and check it religiously. Teamwork Online is a great platform for people that want to get into the sports industry. They list positions for sports across the sports industry, internships, just full positions, part-time positions, anything you could think of in sports, it is going to be on Teamwork Online. So I check Teamwork Online religiously pretty much every day for potential summer internships and stuff like that. And I'm sure when I get out of college, I'm going to check Teamwork Online for potential full-time positions, part-time positions. It's a great website. It's a great platform, and I highly recommend that you get on it as soon as you possibly can once you get into college. That's it, guys. Those are the 5 steps that you should take to have the best chance of having a successful career in the sports industry. I promise you guys, if you give your best effort to each and every one of those steps that I just mentioned, the path to having a career in the sports industry is going to start getting clearer and clearer and clearer. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys the best of luck in pursuing your dream careers in sports. If you found the information in this video helpful, make sure to smash that like button down below. If you want to see more of my content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.